Hi everyone and welcome back to a new video. A few weeks ago we made this blacked out chef knife blank together. And today is the day that we finally show you how we make the handles for this blade. And that's why I get our company's professional Full-Tang Handle maker in for you today to show you how to make this. Ladies and gentlemen, applause for Chris!
Hey guys, today we're doing this handle together, and the first thing we have to do is to choose our handle material. And I think that's one of the most difficult parts. We don't do this here. So what do you think? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah? Yeah. So now that we found our materials, I will show you how we make the handle and what we use as handle materials. First, we have our wood. We use a lime-colored poplar burl wood. To the wood, I will add some G10 liners in green and black, but I thought that would be a little too easy. I'm going to add a simple G10 bolster to our handle. I will show you how to do this. It's not that difficult, but it makes a big difference. It will look awesome. And for the pins, we use our classic Martin Huber carbon fiber pins. And everything you see from the materials here is also available in our online shop. And first, we cut this block in half. At the next step, we have to prepare our G10 liners. They have a really silky surface, but our glue will not stick at the surface. We need a rough surface, so I will use the belt grinder. We also have to prepare our G10 bolster. It must be really straight, so it fits perfectly. Otherwise, we will have a big gap, and that would not look very cool. Now it's time to make everything dead flat. Last step before our first glue up, we have to straighten the front side of our block, also the front side of our G10. Therefore, I use our disc sander. Now we can start the glue up. For the glue up, we use our 2K epoxy glue available in the shop, and yeah, let's mix it up. Don't forget your gloves. To start with our liners. Glue them together. Then our bolster is next in line. We're going to fix it on the liners. And finally, our wood. See, our materials are fixed on the liners, but there's still a huge gap, and of course we don't want that, so more clamps. If you enjoyed the video so far, please like and subscribe.
And if you want to support us even more, please share the videos with your friends.
Or enemies.
And maybe consider a channel membership. It would be very cool of you. Thanks.
While we are waiting, let's talk about why I choose the materials like I did. The wood, yeah, I think poplar burl is a brilliant wood. It's really nice. Lime is also a nice color, and we got a black dark edged blade, a bright color to give us a good contrast, and yeah, I think it will be awesome. The reason why we do G10 liners is first, it looks really good, and the second one is it's way easier to glue all the parts of the handle on the liner before gluing it on the tang.
20 minutes later.
And now let's prepare the handle, drill some holes, and yeah, glue it again.
Chris, what are you doing?
Nothing. You maybe think that looks really brutal, cause it is.
This is what happens when you have too much glue and glue it on the surface that you glue on.
Don't listen to him, it works great. Great. Look at it. Look at it. Now we continue with drilling the holes, but first we have to protect our blade. So I'm gonna wrap it up with some tape. Our handle material is prepared, and now I have to decide the position of the Fulltang on the handle material. Therefore, I mark myself the position of the bolster so I can drill the holes in the right way. As you see, this line describes the position of our bolster. We'll have 2.5 to 3 centimeters of bolster and the rest out of our poplar burl wood. We're going to make 4mm holes for our carbon fiber pins. When we are happy with the position, we start drilling. After the first hole, I use a little screw to fix the position. You can also use a pin, but with a screw it's much easier because the screw can't fall out. After the holes for the pins are finished, we mark the shape of our Fulltang on the handle material. That will be very important later, because we're going to drill some more holes.
Many holes.
Many holes, many holes. Now that the first scale is ready, we have a problem. These two must fit together, straight line. So I will show you a small little trick. Shout out to Tobias Hangler. Thank you man for that trick. We will use some super glue to hold our scales in position. Most important thing is don't use too much super glue, or the scales will stuck together forever. Press it together. Right position. And now that we glued it together, we can just drill in the holes we already made, and the position of the holes will be exactly the same. Also the position of the bolster will be straight. Most of the pins are finished, and now, yeah, we must. As mentioned earlier, it is really important. Listen to me, it's very important to mark the position of your Fulltang. I'm going to mark the shape of the front side from the bolster. The reason why the position of the front line is like it is because of our heel. When the handle is too long and is over the heel, you have a problem by cutting huge vegetables, like potatoes. The handle is too long, like this. You have a part of the blade you can't use. And this is the way to position your knife handle. I grinded the front bolster of the first scale, and now we use our pins to put this together and grind them together. Of course, I forgot to prepare the pins, and yeah.
Pro tip, you can use the corner of your 60 grit or 40 grit or whatever grinding belt to cut down carbon fiber pins without them splitting apart.
Now we use our prepared carbon pins. Put the scales together and grind it. Now I'm going to polish the front. I'm using sanding paper with 180, 400 and 600 grit.
To make it smooth.
Yeah, that's what he said. Now that the front is finished, we're gonna drill our epoxy pockets. You might have seen them in other videos. We use a big drill and make little holes just through our G10 to make a bigger surface for our glue, and also bring the glue down to the wood, so we don't only glue at the G10, we combined everything together with our epoxy. You can use every kind of drill. I prefer 7 to 8 millimeters, but one is very important. Don't drill too deep and stay away from the pinholes. If you accidentally drill in one of these holes, it looks like that. That's not good. Now it's time to grind out the shape of the skulls and glue it on the knife.
But Chris, why don't you cut it on the wood bandsaw but on the metal bandsaw?
Oh, that's a very good question, Martin. It's because G10 is a very hard material. It will damage a wooden bandsaw's blade, and yeah, we don't want that. What I did off camera is grinding the tang again, so the surface is now clean, it's flat and has a rough surface for a good glue up. The last step is to degrease the tang with some alcoholic cleaner. And now, as mentioned before, we use our 2K epoxy glue, mix it together, glue up the scales on the tang, and then we're waiting again.
I waited for someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both in
I use a paper towel with some cleaner to make sure there's no epoxy left on the front bolster.
Twenty minutes later.
Now we start grinding the handle. At first we are doing the basic shape.
I wish you all the best, I guess, but I stop myself a while.
Safety notice. Please, grinding down your handle material to the metal of the tang with a dust collector is very dangerous. Please don't do that.
But why?
Because the sparks can ignite the wood dust and in the worst case you get an explosion, and I think it might be funny, but it's better when it's not my fault. First, I grind down the pins and make everything flat. In the next step, I thin out the front part of the handle. Next, I will form out the Coke bottle shape. For those who don't know, the Coke bottle shape means the same form as an old Coke bottle. Obvious. Don't be afraid to use the corner of the belt grinder to remove material. Now that I've made the rough form of the Coke bottle shape, I start with grinding the corners, forming it out, and also forming out the back of the handle, making the Coke bottle finer, and also forming the back of the handle. It's hand sanding time. Okay, as you can see here on the handle, there are still flat spots, there are corners, and now we're going to make it round, make it smooth.
There's nothing else I'd rather do. Sit tight, you think it's in rain. We need to get back. We need to get back in the game.
Hand sanding tip for the inside of the handle. Don't use too wide abrasive because it's really stable in its form. Otherwise you will get some ugly cuts in the wood, and trust me, you don't want that. Rounding is finished. Now I'm gonna grind around the handle, all the metal parts. They have still 60 grit grinding marks in it. To make my life easier, I want to grind it with an 180 grit belt and remove all the deep scratches. Last step for the handle, it's the good old hand sanding. Maybe Martin will do it.
Don't even think about it.
It seems he would like not to do it. I'm going to start with 180 grit and going up to 600 for a nice finish. Don't forget about the metal parts. And also, another pro tip, for the metal parts, a sanding block or a wooden dowel will help you out.
So many pro tips today!
Finished polishing the handle, now rounding spine and heel, and then, yeah, we're done. For the very last step, we use our Baltic Blades burnish to finish our handle. Oh, what's that? Oh, it seems like we have a discount code for all our knife materials. Get it now with YouTube 10. With YouTube 10, 10% off until at the end of May. Back to our burnish. Thank you for watching this video.
And we see you
In the next video.
And if you stayed to the end of the video, start your comment with Coke bottle.